As I watched the movie Selma, I was truly blown away by the bravery exhibited from the people of the small town Alabama. Brothers and sisters took to the streets together in arms, as they hoped that their suffering would bring about a new life, if not for themselves, then for their children who came after them. Time and time again, men and women were beaten in such a way that those perpetrators could not have seen them as human. Fathers watched on as their daughters were beaten. Sons watched their mothers being brutally assaulted. And all for what? Simply because they wanted rights. Rights to vote, rights to freedom, rights to equality. We say that Selma is now because the struggle for justice is right now. These are the words of rapper Common during his acceptance speech at the Academy Awards for his song Glory, which was created for the movie Selma. But here at Brooks, we have often found trouble in defining what this so-called struggle for justice really is. I have found that many have questioned the very legitimacy of this struggle due to its lack of clarity. When reading a Spectrum piece written by Jules Istanbulu on white privilege, I was met with what to me encapsulates my idea of what our struggle here at school really is. She wrote, "I come from a family of bigots. I was raised by God-fearing Catholics who masked their hatred and ignorance behind Bible verses. My grandmother, after seeing a picture of me and my two black friends, asked if Brooks was safe and warned me about staying too late. I have a biracial cousin. I've heard other members of the family call her mother a nigger lover. They speak about how racism can't possibly exist with a black man in the Oval Office. I've witnessed dinner conversations about the great need to implement Trump's infamous Muslim ban before the terrorists kill us all." For many of you sitting in the chapel today, these words strike an all too personal reality, a reality that will forever be behind closed doors. Many of you among us have engaged in political conversations with parents in a dinner room setting, or spoken with grandparents about a wide range of social topics, some of which may have conjured up ever so slightly prejudiced views. Yet the problem lies in the fact that these conversations are only meant for private settings, opinions secluded for the rest of the world. This school is a place in which the idea of being called a racist is more disturbing than the notion of racism itself. A place in which the community only truly had time for race the few times it was called out for being racist. In schools like this, discrimination is very much behind closed doors. I consider myself fortunate. The civil rights movement of the 20th century has made it more challenging for these kinds of views to be voiced explicitly in public settings. Yet, their work cannot stop covert discrimination from running rampant. Being a senior, I believe it is important to remember that my fellow colored students and I are a little bit closer from stepping out into the real world. A world in which one's ignorance can cost us our employment, as those who are ill-informed may be the ones who we look to for jobs. A world in which those kids who have been fed the narrative of black inferiority their whole lives will be police officers, lawyers, and judges, who, statistically speaking, will hold either mine, Terrell's, or Brian's life in their hands. A world that will look and feel very different from this secluded existence. A fellow student's remarkable gift for creative ideas allowed my African-American friends and I to delve into this dark reality that we face beyond our little safe haven. Nadia Medina's photographic project allows us to display one thing that we will tell our black child growing up. Mine read, "Watch out for fake smiles." This idea does not stray far from the main message of this speech. My parents so often told me, hospitable smiles do not always mean true compassion. Be wary, especially of those you meet. My 13-year-old naivety led me to believe that these are the words of paranoid old people, who were fearful of every white face they encountered. Yet now I can appreciate their wisdom. Now I will make sure to tell my own child, your black skin comes with labels. Not every smile will be genuine. Tread carefully. Just as I said earlier, we say that Selma is now because the struggle for justice is right now. Albeit in a different capacity, Selma is now. The more we read, the better we can engage. The more we talk, the more we will be able to understand how the complexities of class and race play a part in our society. Hero of the Selma movement, Martin Luther King, states, "As long as there are sunny days ahead for them, it is worth it for me." MLK died with the hope of sunny days ahead for our people. So I hope as the year comes to a close and beyond, we can have many sunny days ahead. Push away the clouds of ignorance and let educated light shine upon this campus. Thank you.